Good afternoon, all. Thanks for having us. Welcome, ladies. I'm sitting with three champions in the cyber. One from the architectural side, and other from application side, and we have one from the GRC side, a strong lady. Would you mind introducing yourself, please?
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you very much for those who are still here. We appreciate your presence. We know we are the last on the list, but we'll make this a very engaging and we'll give value for your being here. Irene Corpus, founding partner of Women in Cybersecurity Middle East. I'm also a cybersecurity policy expert and a member of Global Forum for Cyber Expertise in Netherlands.
Thanks, Irene.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much, Anoop, for introduction. Very honored to sit next to these beautiful ladies and professionals. My name is Jana, and I'm a director of IT and platform security at WebBeds. Also, I'm an ambassador for Women Google Tech Makers, the global community, and a part of the amazing community, Women in Cybersecurity Middle East, which Irene is also founder, right? Co-founder. Thank you.
Mariam.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here today for this inspiring panel and to engage in discussion that's not only important for our industry, but also for shaping the future for women in cybersecurity. Allow me to introduce, let me thank you first, thank Gulf News and our moderator Anoop for this inspiring conversation. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Mariam Misbahi, a cybersecurity architect engineer. Actually, I am a new joiner and in my early stage in cybersecurity. So, yes.
Welcome, Mariam. Let's start with our questions then. Okay, so we have very simple few questions to understand their power, their challenges, and their opportunities, and how they are going to inspire the young women in cyber or aspiring to be. First question, Irene, I would like to ask you actually. I will ask you Anna that. Why is that fewer women member in cybersecurity, and what exactly you're going to do or we can do?
I think the challenges that women face in cybersecurity, there are a few reasons. The first one is the societal stereotypes that have been there for many years. We see that the ground is shifting significantly now in a positive way, that we see more women in technology overall. And there are so many initiatives, like, for example, I was talking about Women in Cybersecurity Middle East or Google Women Tech Makers, and there are other different initiatives globally. However, there's still, we know humans, we don't like big change. And especially when the program was there for many, many years, the stereotypes that STEM field is men-dominated. And it comes from educational, from early education, that technology is promoted, STEM field is promoted as men-dominated field. And that's why women, they don't tend to, being young girls, they don't tend to go and take engineering path or mathematics or especially programming. So this is one part where it comes from early age and stereotypes, and then it goes into even work environments, when there is cultural environment, if the workplace is not promoting diversity and inclusion and trying to break that mindset that has been established there for many years, then also the work environment becomes very tough. And another point, I think what we forget in cybersecurity field, and maybe it's too bold of a statement, that cybersecurity is not part of IT, is not part of technology. It's actually a whole world on its own, and it goes into across all departments, across all functions, and the point of the cybersecurity. And we see, right, there were discussions right before and about how all the successful hacks, they start with a phish, with social engineering. More than 80% of successful cyber attacks, they start with social engineering. And we understand that human is a big part. And when such cyber attacks start, they don't target IT people in the first place. They can be anyone, HR, office manager, it can be a delivery guy when it comes to physical security and tailgating. So there's so many different ways. And so I think what we can do is to promote cybersecurity as basically a cover for, it's a business support of all different functions. It's not just technology. It's not just deep tech. You don't need to have computer science engineering and pursue only that path in order to be in cybersecurity. We can talk about GRC as well, right? Governance, risk and compliance, when it integrates deeply with regulatory and organizational requirements. So we talk about legal side, we talk about much bigger business needs. So I think that's one of the points where we need to stop talking about cybersecurity as being tech only. It's everything and all the functions included that could motivate to young women, young professionals to not be scared entering cybersecurity because we will think about it as not just tech related.
Cool. Irene, we discussed a lot about the challenges on the women in cybersecurity earlier as well. So would you mind highlighting some of the challenges to stopping them to coming to their full potential?
Okay, some of the challenges, there's a lot actually, and some of them have been mentioned by Jana already, and those challenges still exist. And what are a few things that we can mention? Those challenges stem from the organization. So if the organization is not really still willing to embrace diversity, then that's one part of the challenge. I was just in Korea, South Korea, last week, through the invitation of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and one of the things that I was in a panel about cyber threats, and I cannot stop myself from talking about the importance of capacity building. And when it comes to capacity building, of course, I'm an ambassador of women in cyber. I have to mention about building capabilities for women. Before we got into this stage, it was surprising when I heard that one of the Korean mentioned, you know what, here in the Korea, it's not something, you know, it's like when we hire, regardless of whether it's a man or male or female, we look at the skills. So which leads me to the point that one of the challenges could be the bias when it comes to the training. Does it mean that there's not enough training being given equally to the women in the organization? What is the capacity building program in the organization? Do they have KPIs? When I joined a government sector in the UAE decades ago, I was surprised with one of the KPIs that says % of women in the workforce. Now, out of 37 ministers, 9 are female, okay? And 60 on the national government, 60% of the workforce are women. And out of those 60%, 30% are on the leadership position. So that is what I think is the biggest challenge. It all should stem from the leadership, from the initiatives of the organization to be the leader, to promote the diversity and inclusion of women, and to provide equality when it comes to salaries and promotion and training.
Cool, Irene, that is a good opening actually. It's a lack of leadership, or leadership is not considering the women power actually. All right. From Younger Voice, Mariam, would you mind giving some on these challenges?
Yes, as Irina says, that the unconscious bias, the presence of unconscious bias, and the lack of visible role models, also that affect and make it harder, because this field require more confidence and technical expertise. Celebrating women who excel in cybersecurity, that may inspire others, also me, to go into cybersecurity. So yeah.
That's a good one, actually. So that opens up another question. That say, what is the kind of advice you have to bring in more younger ones into this league? So do you have any kind of a plan or a program? Who's going to answer? Is it Irene or Yana?
Okay, if I may share, for the Women in Cybersecurity Middle East, we have a few programs. Little by little, we are able to encourage more women to join and to go out there in the field. We have, as a part of my role in the WIXME, I engage in partnership and collaboration with conferences so that, it's a two-way thing. The conference organizers will be perceived as promoting and supporting women in cyber, okay? But what is it for me? I will say I don't want the WIXME logo being in your website and then I do not see women speakers.
Exactly.
Okay, so bring on my WIXME sisters on the board. And of course, it's not just about the numbers, right? don't want to say put 50% women there. We make sure that we also bring in skilled, expert, knowledgeable speakers so that you will know that we are not just women standing or sitting behind the label of WIXME. We have a lot of women, even in Black Hat Middle East, last 2 weeks ago, we were there. And even Black Hat, they have been partnering with us for 4 years now, and they said that surprisingly, it is in the Middle East, Black Hat, where they found the most number of women speakers. Is that an effort that we'd say it's only WIXME? No, it's not only about WIXME. It's about the collaboration and the support of even male allies. We have male allies who support us. So this is a collaborative effort, but what is important is that there is a voice, or there are voices who hear this message clearly, not only in the region, but globally.
Any leaders here, please listen to this. That's a fantastic statement here. So kindly consider the future events and your organization. If you have any kind of opportunities, you should consider more women. We tried actually for this particular event itself. We contacted a lot of women in cyber. Unfortunately, their schedule is not matching. That's why it's happened. Yana, would you please add something on this?
I agree. It's a great initiative that Irene is leading. I'm also a part of it, and it's a great community. Everyone is supporting each other. Women supporting each other. And Mariam, I hope you're also going to join, or you may be already a part. Yes. So it would be. I think what you mentioned about celebrating women in the cybersecurity sector is very important, not because of the recognition. It's actually to inspire young girls that they have mentors, that they're women voices, they're female leadership in different organizations, that they know this is possible. Because especially coming from different backgrounds, and we are here in Dubai, we're coming from all over the world, right? So we grow up in different conditions, and there are different cultures that I will be speaking for the culture that I'm actually from Russia, but I'm half Korean, so yeah, half Russian, half Korean, and in Russia the dynamic is very men-dominated. Honestly, I don't see it in Middle East as much as I've seen in Russia, where they tell from the start that girls cannot be this or that. We need to break that mindset and show them that this is possible. That's why we need to celebrate women until it's normalized, until there is no women in cybersecurity, until we don't look at genders anymore. I think we have a long way to go, but we are moving very strongly. So it's important to portray and celebrate women, to show young girls and to give them mentorship and to promote programs and show them that we will support, that there are women in the industry that we always guide, mentor, share experience, share their career path. And there are many communities they do that. And if events that, like you guys, Gulf News organize and give it, because you also publish about it. If we promote more about initiatives for young girls that go in university and they can see it on social media, they can see it on LinkedIn, they can see it in, on Gulf News website, on different releases, they will be hopefully inspired and encouraged that there is support.
That's a good idea. Thank you. Anything you want to add, Mariam? Any plans in your mind to entertain? No. Embrace? No. That's fine.
Can I add to that? Okay. For one of the programs that Women in Cybersecurity Middle East had last year, you're talking about mentorship because it is important for the young girls and women to have mentors. Even not young girls, even those women who would like to transition from their previous career to the other. Most of these women I can see are from the financial sector and or academia, who would like to go into the cyber. Now, last year, the ITU, International Telecommunications Union, under the United Nations, they approached the WIXME if we can participate in the mentorship program. So this Women in Cyber mentorship program is a yearly initiative of ITU. What happened when we had that partnership is that, surprisingly, 30 to 35% of the global participants came from the Middle East.
Okay.
Why did that happen? How did that happen? It's because the WIXME, because we are in the region, the biggest challenge is the language barrier. So what we did last year is we translated some of the programs into Arabic. So mentors and mentees, all from the region. If possible, we pair the ones who are in the same country. And yeah, the language is Arabic. Although I am not Arabic speaking, I can see how the engagement happens, how active the mentees and the mentors are, compared as to when, let's say, a woman from an Arab region is paired with a mentor who is coming from Europe or America. You know, so this is a very good achievement of, that we can see, 35%. Likewise, 10 years ago, it was only 12% women in cyber. Now, last year, there was a survey, it's already 25%. Again, it's not only about WIXME, but it means it's the message is already being sent globally.
Do you have any college-level programs or school-level programs?
A good question. Thank you for that question, because we don't have a college-level program yet, but there was one company, I will not mention it here, but it's a vendor who offered a fundamentals in cybersecurity and AI fundamentals as well. It's a 4-week PBL, or a project-based learning. So we there are about 50 women from WIXME who participated. And after that program, there are still more programs to come. And we just have to make sure that the programs are really distributed in the region. We need to know how many percentages of women in the WIXME are participating from UAE, from KSA, and we will publish in our LinkedIn the other mentorship, not mentorship program, training, real official training programs in collaboration with some vendors. So knock knock on some vendors who are willing to provide our women some training. Thank you in advance.
What I heard from the community, these leadership you mentioned, those leaders mentioned that say they leverage women power in the area of cybersecurity awareness, and they're succeeding in it. Do you agree that?
Cybersecurity.
Example, I'll give you. I'm the one. I have women delivering cybersecurity awareness for Gulf News internal stuff, and she delivers it successfully. Language is not a barrier. She uses local Arabic language as well, and she's doing a fantastic job. So likewise, I asked the same question to actually give her more guidance from my peers in the group, a community. There are men and women as well, who's ready to come and give lecture to her and also whoever needs it. So it's a community exercise. So what I understood from there is that, say, there is a potential growth from women on educating others, and that is giving a lot of return of investment. Is that a good idea?
What do you think?
It's quite a good idea, actually. I do, as part of Google Women Tech Makers community, this is exactly what I'm doing for them, for young girls especially. It starts with cybersecurity awareness, but then they ask a lot of questions about cybersecurity. Oh, it's a tech field, very complicated, very man-dominated, it's so scary, and then the conversation starts. But I think it's important to actually open that space to hold the space for having those conversations, especially when women do that, when they start giving awareness. And I'm a big advocate for security awareness. I think human can be the weakest link, but it's also the strongest link in cybersecurity. I think maybe you heard my presentations. I always yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's just to hold the space for having those conversations when women start sharing their knowledge, and that opens dialogue, and then it gives more freedom to ask questions and to find out more. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Mariam, you want to add anything?
I think the gender is not an issue. Actually, I was the only female in the company with the cybersecurity. If you want to learn, you will learn even with the people that you are within the environment. So I think that you should do. To improve your learning, improve your experience, and engage with other people as well. It's not relying on their gender, their age, or anything. So that will help also women to be in the cybersecurity field.
That's really a good point. Say, like Irene added about the leadership part. This is one of the point to be noted here. An organization following in an organization mode, that is, an individual is driving the stuff, which may fail, but an organization, a process-driven, definitely gender doesn't matter. So moving forward, so telling about the governance part. A GRC-driven process or any organization, which would be an apt area where gender-free anybody can work on, because there's proper direction, proper guidelines, proper policy. So if that happens, would that be a gender-free model which can perform better? What I'm trying to say is that, say, there is a proper guidelines or direction from the management that this has to be done this way, be it a software development lifecycle or a DevSecOps, or implementing a new solution with a GRC by model, follow these controls. So that would be easy for to perform.
Actually, like what Mariam mentioned, I would say that in whatever area in cybersecurity or IT, just put it equal for everyone, regardless of whether that is GREC, software development, being a SOC analyst, malware engineer, or threat analyst. Don't look into the gender. I think I cannot recall if it is which country is it, that when there is a CV, first there's no need to put the photo. Okay, I would say that in my younger years, very much younger years, when there was still no internet, I would look into a newspaper and say, preferably good looking. What is that? What kind of qualification is that? Preferably graduate of, and then 1, 2, 3. What if I'm a poor lady studying in a poor school or a public school, etc.? What is my opportunity then? So when I heard about this country who puts a CV without a photo, and when it is forwarded by the HR to the interviewees, there's no name. There's no gender. It says candidate one. And then you look at the profile as a person, not as a woman or a man. So in your question, talking about leadership in GRC, regardless again of whatever landscape it is, in the area of cybersecurity, there should always be an equal opportunity for male and female. I'm not singling opportunity only for women. It should be equal at this time. It's like it's still. I already feel embarrassed if someone is still looking at the gender when hiring in cybersecurity. And moving forward, let's talk about women in AI, women in quantum. Let's wait for that. It will come as well,
Right.
because we should always be welcome in whatever area in our career.
To be frank, does that really require that gender mentioned there? Because we are going to talk about a process. So is that the differentiation really required?
I completely support you in what she mentioned, what she said. Even in Dubai, when I was sending my CV out, when there was a free form of CV, I never put my photo, I never put my gender, and I never put my age or marital status. I think it's inappropriate to ask, and it should be normalized that all the CV, when applying for jobs, there should be, the main point should be the skill set, the contact details, email or phone, how to contact the candidate, and the skill set, no more. So that, because in GRC, and that's the thing, I think the goal here for us is to never have to have this women in cybersecurity or women in AI. There should not be such topics to
Exactly.
discuss anymore. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
We want it to be normalized. It should be normal. We are all people, and the gender doesn't matter. Marital status doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. Age shouldn't matter. What matters is skills. That's all. That's the goal for everything. And that should be the goal for cybersecurity in the first place, because as I mentioned before, it covers all the business aspects, right? It supports business, all the functions. Data is being the most precious currency in the world right now, and our job is to protect it. Someone might argue it's Bitcoin, but but it's data. So
that's the right point, actually. Data doesn't have a gender.
exactly.
Right. Okay. That, in fact, concludes my question. Do you want to add anything to inspire more women in any other way, like in terms of coming to GRC or coming to your program?
I think this is where we need AI. Okay, just fit in the CV. AI should be not biased, right? So let's see what is the result now if recruitment is going through AI in most of the organization. Let's see how AI helps. In terms of providing equal opportunity, let's just think that we may not have sisters or your wife as trying to get into the into the field, but you may have daughter who would need the same support as what we are trying to voice out right now. So everybody needs to support each other. Thank you.
Yana, the closure note, anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to add that also, no matter what anyone tells you, you should know, to all the girls, especially young girls, that you can be anyone you want in this world. And there is no restrictions, and there is no limit. The sky is the limit. So just follow your dreams, follow your goals, and it doesn't matter if you want to go to the space, or you want to grow flowers, or you want to go into cybersecurity. You can be anyone you want, and it doesn't matter. So don't listen to anyone.
Fantastic. Mariam?
I agree to you because I'm young now, and I choose my own career, my own pathway to study cybersecurity. I cross the boundary. I don't see anything that could stop me. So I have goals and I want to achieve these goals in the future. I see myself that I'm a valued person in the future that can make a difference in the environment as well and in UAE itself.
You will.
That concludes our discussion, to be frank. And the conclusion here is that a good leadership definitely will not do a gender bias, and a process-oriented organization will definitely succeed. And the last one, what we understood, is that there's no limit. People, only we spoke about a process, and the technology and the data doesn't have gender. So let's, all the ladies or young girls, go for it, right? That's exactly what message is all about. And I'm really privileged to sit with them and talk this topic, and really, really appreciate. Thank you.